Hello and good afternoon, guys. Welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, I'm going to explain to you your rights as a taxpayer. Now, a lot of times, a person will not know what their rights are. What should they expect from when they file taxes, what type of rights they have, what it is, how to get informed, what type of representative you might have. So I'm gonna explain to you certain things, obviously, to give you guys a better understanding as a taxpayer. The first thing first, you have the right to be informed. Obviously, if anything happens to you, you have the right to know the tax laws. Tax laws are very, very complicated. Certain things, you might not know because you never went through the IRS procedures and everything. They have the right to let you know about the whole application, what type of publication, the notices and the correspondence that they might let you know in the whole 9 yards. They have to give you a clear explanation on what's going on and what the outcome might be. So basically, you have the right to be informed. The number two is you have the right to quality services. Obviously, as a taxpayer, you have the right to receive, you have the right to receive prompt, courteous, and professional assistance when dealing with the IRS. They have to be professional. They have to be courteous to you at all times. And obviously, they have to speak to you in certain ways that you might be able to understand. They can't use jaguars or anything else that you might not understand their lingo. So keep this in mind. The communications with you should be very, very easy as a taxpayer, so you're not understanding what's going on. You have the right to pay no more than the correct amount of tax, which is common sense. If you have a penalty for $500, that's the amount you should have to pay. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what they're saying in number 3. The right to challenge the IRS position and be heard. A lot of times, whenever you have a decision from the IRS, some people end up challenging it. For example, let's say for example, you were supposed to pay a penalty for 2009 and you end up forgetting it. Now, obviously, sometimes the penalty becomes an interest and then they charge you more and more. You have the right to challenge the IRS position. You say, you know what, I'm really sorry about it, or you know what, whatever it is, I never got a statement by home. Why am I being charged a penalty? Or I already made a plan and I'm being charged with the penalty. I'm gonna have to, right to challenge this. So keep this in mind. You do have the right to challenge this. Number 5. You do have the right to appeal an IRS decision in an independent forum. You have completely, as like fairness, as an impartial administration, you do have the right to repeal IRS decision. So let's say, for example, if they give you a penalty, you have the right to receive, your written response statement from the IRS saying what's going on, and you have the right to repeal and take their case to court if that's how you feel like it should be. The right to finality. Now, the right to finality is basically taxpayers have the right to know the maximum amount of time they have to challenge the IRS position, as well as the maximum amount of time the IRS has to audit a particular tax year or collect a tax debt. Basically, they give you a time limit. They're not going to tell you within a day do this. They have the right to let you know the maximum amount of time you have to do this. Keep this in mind. Obviously, if they give you an X amount of time to pay a certain penalty or X amount of time to do something, that's all the time you have. Once you pass the time, they have the right to go after you, either by doing collections or going after you personally. Whatever it is, keep this in mind. They have the right to give you that. You have the right to privacy. Keep this in mind. Every time, when you file taxes with the IRS and everything, they also have to comply with the law. They have to respect the due process right as a taxpayer, meaning that you cannot, go do illegal search and seizures about your items and everything else. You have a right for privacy at the same time. You have the right to confidentiality. Everything you talk to the IRS is completely confidential. There's no way that they are allowed to leak that information to a public or anyone else. That's the confidential things you have to do with the IRS. Keep this in mind. Any wrongfully or anyone disclosed to taxpayers information could end up getting sued in the court of law. The right to retain representation. Obviously, taxpayers have the right to have an attorney to speak on their behalf, or anyone that wants to, challenge the IRS, such as the people that, for example, work in the IRS, work in the taxpayer's office. They do sometimes have their own, representative to speak to, which is known as an enrolled agents. Sometimes they do also have the power to talk to the IRS on your behalf. Keep this in mind. They do have the right to retain representation. The right to fair and just tax system. Everyone has a right to be fair and just during the tax season. on the tax system, should I say. As when you're filing taxes and everything, you do have the right to receive assistance from the taxpayer advocate services, the people that help you out which are experienced financial difficulty, or the IRS has not resolved their tax issue properly. They do have the right to fair and just tax system as well. These are some examination, appeal, and collection and refund. Obviously, they give you understanding more on what examination is, by mail, by interview, by repeat decision, collections and advocate systems and everything. Obviously, I'm not going to go over all this. There's a lot of information, but I want you to go from the 10 main points of the right as a taxpayer. As you can see, the taxpayer has a lot of rights. Keep this in mind. A lot of people do not know their rights. By watching this video and obviously doing your own research online, you'll learn more and more rights as a taxpayer. A lot of times people have gone through a lot of situations where they might have to owe the IRS, or they try to add certain things. Keep this in mind. If the IRS finds out, they can penalize you and everything. I know certain people that I've noticed that when they owe the IRS and they didn't even know about it until they found out later on that, oh my God, I do owe IRS money and everything. Or a lot of times what happens is they never update the information. That's one of the things that a lot of times, when you change your address, the mail is going to the old address and you don't even know what's going on. So that's one of the biggest problems. A lot of people do not know what's going on. So keep this in mind. With that being said, that's about it. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best on my part to help you out as much as possible to clarify any confusion you guys have. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.